Namandam, 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 namandam.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2023 Hatsubon Service at Kona Hongwanji Buddhist Temple. We are grateful for your attendance either in person or virtually via Zoom. As a reminder to those of you on Zoom, please be sure your mic is muted throughout the entire service. Obon is a time for rejoicing in the compassionate embrace of Amida Buddha through honoring the memory of our ancestors. Hatsubon is a service held during the first Obon season after the passing of a loved one. This is a special time to reflect upon our lives and how we are continually being influenced by those we hold dearest in our hearts. Attending this service helps to strengthen family bonds and makes us realize how precious family togetherness is. It gives us an opportunity to understand that in living life, there is loss. And although with this loss there is grief, there is also a deep feeling of gratitude and joy as we reflect on how our lives have been enriched by those who have gone before us. Let us begin the service with a moment of silent meditation.
Namandam, 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 namandam.
Reverend Blayne will now chant the Sanbujo, or three respectful callings. The chanting of the Sanbujo by the minister invites Amida Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, and all Buddhas of the 10 directions to join us at this Hatsubon service. It symbolizes our willingness to open our hearts and minds to receive the Dharma. The chanting of Sanbujo acknowledges the compassionate workings of Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion in our lives.
지보은요라이 니는 조의 상에
An aspiration will be shared by Reverend Blayne.
Please join me in Gasho. We gather together in the spirit of aloha to remember our loved ones who have awakened in the pure land of enlightenment. We extend our deepest gratitude to them and reflect on how our lives have been made possible and enriched by their presence. During this time of Obon, we celebrate life and the enduring bonds of love which continue on. Obon is truly a gathering of joy in which both the living and those born in the Pure Land rejoice in the universal embrace of great wisdom and compassion. We take this time to remember, to reflect, and to reconnect with our loved ones with profound appreciation and joy. May we come to realize the truth of impermanence and deeply entrust ourselves to the compassionate vow of Amida Buddha and live with the Nembutsu in our hearts. On the occasion of this first Obon, since their birth in the Pure Land, we remember Mitsue Akazawa, Donald Fujiwara, Wally Ichishita, Alice Kawamoto, Akemi Matsumoto, Jay Moriguchi, Mildred Morimoto, Dennis Motoyama, George Nakamoto, Yukiko Nakayama, Brandon Neal, Francis Owe, Norman Sakata, Toshiharu Sato, Lionel Tatsutani, and Sumiko Yamamoto. May their light and love continue to shine brightly within our hearts and minds, and may we find comfort and peace. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham satnam gacchami, dhammam satnam gacchami, sangham satnam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance, the one who shows us the way in this life. I go to the Dharma for guidance, the way of understanding and love. I go to the Sangha for guidance, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. Entrusting in the Buddha of all-inclusive wisdom and all-embracing compassion, we call the honored name, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu.
The Sutra, Amida Kyo, will now be chanted by Reverend Blayne. Please refer to your program as I read an explanation of this chant. Along with the larger Sutra of Immeasurable Life and the Contemplation Sutra, the Amida Sutra is one of the central texts of Pure Land Buddhism. In the sutra, Shakyamuni Buddha addresses Sariputra and the other disciples, describing the beauty of the Pure Land, the virtues of Amida Buddha as the Buddha of infinite light and life, and urging that all sentient beings who hear this teaching should aspire for birth in that land. The sutra encourages that we should aspire for birth in the Pure Land by saying the honored name of Amida Buddha, Namo Amida Butsu, with a heart and mind of true and trusting. All of the names of the deceased are displayed on individual stands in front of the altar. Some of the families have also shared a picture of their loved one, which is also displayed up front. During the chanting, I will only be calling the names of the deceased whose families are in attendance or on Zoom today. After each name is read, will the family, relatives, and close friends please come up to offer incense? Please make use of both incense burners. For those of you on Zoom, please put your hands together in Gasho as the name of your loved one is called. Reverend Blayne will now commence with chanting the Amida Kyo.
せなみだきょ妙善がも日自分在者へご義受義孤独音
In joyful remembrance, we honor today Alice Kawamoto,
250人改正大アランガ主張知識長老者利をマカモケンレンマカガショマカガセンネンマカク
Akemi
チ
Matsumoto,
ラリハタシュリハンダガなんだあなんだらごらきょぼなだいびんずるはららかるだいんなかこひんなはくらあぬるなにょぜと初代弟子病床菩薩マカサッ文殊師利
Mildred
法
Morimoto,
寺アイタ菩薩現高大菩薩上昇人菩薩四如是と初代菩薩牛釈大観音と無量昇天大祝二次文語長老者利を十世祭を果十万の仏道右世界妙法極楽合道右仏語阿弥陀根源在世法者利を移動がご妙意極楽合国主上無主具単樹昇楽光明極楽者利を極楽極
George
道
Nakamoto,
七十断十七十断も七十五十大勢四方主相異尿稽古非国妙法極楽右者利を極楽国道右師法知白毒水十万五中四大順に根社富士四辺街道金剛瑠璃ハリ
Brandon
ゴ
Neal,
上上右老学薬医金剛瑠璃ハリシャコ釈主名の二言直視地中蓮華大尿車輪小式小古大式王子
Francis Oe.
釈式釈古
The family is joining us via Zoom. If we could place our hands in Gasho for a moment.
シャリオ極楽国道上寿如世不
Norman
独
Sakata,
将軍ウシャリオ異部国道上佐天学黄金二次昼夜六時二万だらけ五国主上上位昇丹各位英国上州妙見休養他法十万六仏即位時期次元と本国凡時期行業者利法極楽国道上寿如世九徳将軍武士者利法異国
Toshiharu Sato,
主従奇妙座敷市長白国弱オムシャリ大量便が愚妙市長税所主張昼夜六時水和下音下音延長合根合力七宝大文阿書道文尿税と浄土主張門税音に Kai shit nen but nen bo nen so shadi ot nyomot ni shi jo jit ze sai sho ho sho sho i sha ga hi bu goku do mu sam myak shu shadi ot go bu goku do sho mu sam myak do shi myo ga kyo u jit
Blayne
ze
no
sho
Tatsutani.
shu cho kai ze amida bu yokuryo onsen ru enge shosa shari ot ibu gokudo mifu suido shoho goju gyuho ramo suimi myon inyo yakusen jungak dogu kusa monze onsha kaiji nenjo nenbut nenbo nenso shishin shariot gobu gokudo joju nyoze kudoku shogon.
If there is anyone who may have been inadvertently omitted, will the family and relatives please come forward to offer incense at this time? Representing Kono Hongwanji Kyodan, President Linda Nagai.
Namannabu, 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 namandabs, namandabs, namandabs.
In remembrance of your loved ones, please rise for the Gatha, Homeward I Go. Words can be found on the back of your program. You may be seated. Reverend Blayne will now share a Dharma message.
Aloha, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for honoring your loved one during this Hatsubon service. My deepest condolences on your recent loss. It truly has been a privilege to walk alongside each of you during this most difficult and challenging of times. As you remember them today, reflect on how your journey has been since their birth in the Pure Land. May the Buddha's light of all-inclusive wisdom and all-embracing compassion give you comfort and peace. At the heart of Obon is a story, a timeless story of love, devotion, and memory. We reflect on this story each year at the height of summer when we celebrate the fullness of life in all its glory. We dance in endless circles to the rhythmic beat of taiko drums with our hands and feet telling stories of their own under the night sky, illuminated by brightly colored lanterns. These beautiful lanterns that light our journey of memory and connection guide us home to ourselves. Let's take comfort and find new meaning in this ancient festival of joyful remembrance. The story of Obon comes from the Ulumbala Sutra, which describes how Moggallana, one of Shakyamuni Buddha's disciples, suffered over the death of his mother. Feeling a deep sense of loss and regret, he worried that her lifelong devotion to him had been a barrier to her understanding and practicing the Buddha's teaching. However, the Buddha counseled Moggallana by asking him to reflect deeply upon this, and he came to realize that his mother's devotion to him came from an unselfish, a pure love, which naturally embodied the Buddha's path. With this profound insight into his mother's life, Moggallana danced with joy as his sorrow and regret were transformed into appreciation and gratitude for her love, which made his life possible. Moggallana's story offers us a profound lesson on life, that when we love, we will also experience the loss of those we love. This is the inescapable truth of our lives. Through our own stories of love and loss, we come to appreciate the significance of this present life, which is precious and unrepeatable, and also brief. Because of our deep connection to our ancestors, we are enabled to live. By remembering them, we gain new strength and appreciation for the unique causes and conditions which sustain and nurture our lives. We come to realize how precious our lives truly are because they are made possible through the dynamic working of Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion. Because of our profound connection to our loved ones, we are enabled to live. By remembering them, we gain new appreciation for all that allows our lives to be possible, right? We even need to be thankful for the rain. Shin Buddhist author Hideo Yonezawa shares an appreciation for this fundamental Buddhist concept of engi, or conditioned co-arising, or interdependent nature of our lives. He says, man lives by receiving all things from the universe, like the earth, the air, the water, and rice. Even rice cannot grow without the air and the water, the sun and the moon. When we begin to see that we are sustained and given life by all things, we awaken to our true self. The self that is nothing but ego is also the self that is sustained by all things. No person is an island. We are all connected, and we are all enabled to live because of all these causes and conditions that come together. That's the miracle of living. That's the miracle of our lives. As we live, we continue to awaken to our true self. This is the life of being born in the Pure Land. This is the working of Namo Amida Butsu, which is asking us to remember our true selves. Every moment of our lives is an opportunity to cross over from the world of delusion to the world of awakening. The wish of all enlightened beings, of all the Buddhas, of all the loved ones you come to remember today, is for us to realize the joy and the wonder of living in this present moment, this precious life that we're living now. Our loved ones live within Namo Amida Butsu, which is ever present in our lives. During this festival of joyful memory, the veil separating us from our loved ones thins as we welcome them home into our hearts. This act of remembering is healing because we realize that they have never left our side as ever-present companions and guides along our own life journey to the Buddha's world of awakening. These services are a time for us to reflect on the importance of becoming a good ancestor. While we are celebrating the life and the lives of those we love, our good ancestors, we are being reminded of how we should become a good ancestor too. For what we do in our lives in this present moment matters and is of utmost significance, because what we do affects future generations. And we learn through this story of Obon that we are links between the past and the future, and what we do matters and is important. And how we live and how we share the values that they shared with us is the best way of honoring them and passing on to future generations. In the Amida Sutra that was just chanted is one of the three sacred scriptures of Jodo Shinshu. And we find in the sutra a teaching of Kue Isho, which refers to how we will all meet together in the Pure Land of Enlightenment. In our saying of the Nembutsu, we experience Kue Isho, this oneness, this profound oneness with our loved ones who have become part of this timeless working of wisdom and compassion, the working of enlightenment that sustains our lives. Our saying of Namo Amida Butsu is an endless conversation with limitless, infinite light and life itself. Years ago, I observed my paternal grandmother's first Obon after her passing away at the age of 100. And my grandmother, Hatsubon Higa, was actually born here in Honolulu, but then, lived most of her life in Hilo. And so growing up, I would go to grandma's house all the time, and so they were such a big part of my life, right? And so to be able to celebrate her Obon, right, after her passing was quite bittersweet, and yet very healing. Taking the time to uplift her memory through this ancient ritual was a profound emotional and spiritual release. Recalling our shared story through the movements of my hands and feet, my heart quickened and slowed to the rhythm of drums as tears welled up and nammandabs rose from deep within. I felt like I was finally able to let go after holding my breath for so many months after her passing. My sorrow was transformed through the healing power of time and attention. My deepening appreciation for her and my profound gratitude for her continuing influence and presence in my life found its natural expression in my voicing of the Nembutsu. My grandmother and all of my ancestors are together with me in this dynamic working of Namo Amida Butsu, which has no beginning and no end. During the Obon season, we celebrate life and love, always entrusting ourselves to the all-inclusive wisdom and all-embracing compassion of infinite light and life. Tonight, as our hands and feet move to the ancient rhythms of taiko drums, let's remember our own stories of love that nurture and heal our hearts. Please join me in Gasho for a closing reflection. A verse from the poem Four Quartets by T.S. Eliot. Music heard so deeply that it is not heard at all, but you are the music while the music lasts. Entrusting the dynamic working of all-inclusive wisdom and all-embracing compassion, we call Amida's honored name in gratitude, joy, and awareness for the enlightenment and the life to come. We give thanks. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Nammanda Butsu. Nammanda Butsu. Nammanda Butsu. Nammanda Butsu. Mahalo.
Thank you, Reverend Blayne. Please join me in unison reading of our pledge by reciting the words out loud with me. Words can be found in your program. Reaching out to others, I will share a smile and gentle words, just like the Buddha who always calls out with aloha. Breaking away from my greed, anger, and ignorance, I will try to live in peace and harmony, just like the Buddha who shares tranquility and kindness with all. Moving forward from self-centeredness, I will share a life of joy and sorrow with others, just like the Buddha whose caring heart always embraces us. Realizing that I live because of others, I will strive to live life to the fullest with an attitude of gratitude, just like the Buddha who promises to embrace us all. Please rise as we will conclude this service with the singing of the Gatha Nembutsu.
Now
Please be seated. This concludes the Hatsubon service. Here are a few announcements. Next Sunday, July 30th at 10 o'clock a.m., we will be observing an Obon family service. In-person guest speaker will be Reverend Kerry Kirohara, resident minister of Makawao Hongonji on Maui. On Sunday, August 6th, the annual Hiroshima Remembrance Service will be held at 10 o'clock a.m., sponsored by the Kona Hiroshima Kenjin-kai. This service commemorates the 78th anniversary of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Guest speaker will be Mr. Tadashi Hosokawa, chairman of the board of Delica Wing Company Limited, and honorary chairman, Hatsukaichi Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Hiroshima, Japan. Free COVID home test kits with expiration dates of October 2023 are still available in the conference room, and you may pick them up today or anytime. Are there any other announcements, Reverend Blayne or anyone else? Okay, we invite all of you to stay for our 2023 Bon Dance and Craft Fair event, which will begin at 6 o'clock p.m. today through 10 o'clock p.m. Memory lanterns are available for purchase in honor of your deceased loved ones. You can write loving messages on them, display them tonight, and take them home with you. There is a memory lantern available from the church given to each one of the Hatsubon families. So if you haven't already gotten one and created a memory lantern for your loved one, please see our ladies at the back of the church after the service, and they can help you with that. Please join in on the fun bon dancing, eat lots of Ono food, and support the many vendors displaying their crafts. There will surely be something for everyone. Thank you very much for taking the time to honor your deceased loved ones by attending this Hatsubon service. Though no longer physically here, they will live on in your memory and hearts forever. As a reminder, those of you who brought pictures of your loved one, please be sure to retrieve them from Reverend Blayne and take them home. Okay, now, even despite they tell us never to use the R word, so despite the precipitation, let's go out and have some fun. Thank you. Oh, no, in the back are the ones, and you make one, yeah. There's one for each family. Just see the ladies at the table, should be in the back. Oh yeah, you can take yours, or if you want to, unless you want to leave it here, for display until later, yeah, that's fine.